Awesome.
But there's another question mark. First of all, let's go to walls now. Now, yesterday and this morning when I went to bed, up here, all the windows and doors kept coming up. But now, I'm trying as I might, I can't find those bloody things, and it doesn't come up like it is now.
Okay.
So, if you can just help me with that.
Yeah, all you have to do is basically just click on a wall.
Yeah. Oh, big true.
So don't click on the command, just click on the object.
I've got it every.
Oh,
so
shame, man.
I can't tell you what I've done.
Okay.
And it comes up.
I think the reason for the confusion is this toolbar is actually a context toolbar. So I normally put it here. I see for the last few sessions you actually moved it to the top. I didn't move it back. I didn't say anything about it. But that's sometimes confusing. If you put it here, for the user, for whatever reason, they accept the fact that this changes according to what object is selected. But while if it's sitting here at the top in the toolbar in the menu area, the guys think it's a menu that should stay still or have certain features for I don't know when. But if it's sitting, as I said, if it's sitting here, whatever you click on. So if I now click on a construction line.
And then all clicks the thing, and then I report and stuff, and that's not so right. No. So you just push on that, and it comes up. So it's there.
Yeah. Don't think difficult. Think simple. You still there? George? Hello?
The call could not be established. Contact administrator.
Hear me?
I can get it.
Okay, brilliant. Sorry about that. Yes.
Okay. That's now good. That's it. I don't know what to say, but it wasn't good. I can finish this point,
Yeah.
and I'm going to get to the what's that. There's something else I'd like to ask if I could. We go on to something else.
Yeah.
Yeah? Right. With the old caddy, you could actually snap to the center between, with this become a line, but jump to these two walls. You can see that.
Okay. What do you want to trim?
I want to just put the center line.
Okay. So
But now I've got, just a bit of whole thing there and this point more, but it means every time I'm going to go measure from there to there, or highlight from there to there, and then it clicks onto that. But whereas before, if this was trimmed, this wall was up to this wall, then automatically that is one line and it's done, but it will automatically enter that all this performance. So you can tell me how to do that.
okay.
If possible. That's particular.
Okay. Do you want to put a line down in the center between those two, or do you want to trim it? I don't understand.
Alright, can you see now the center line now? But,
So you just want to put the center line down.
yeah.
Okay.
What I need to know, I don't want to keep going to this thing here. It was just
Additional snap modes, yeah.
that one there. And I'm putting a good point of line. Well, obviously, put it first time right, if you can just snap, and it won't be on.
Sure.
But it doesn't seem to drill on that unless I'm doing something wrong.
Okay. This is. I'm going to get back to this example now. Just going to go to the side. I'm going to draw a rectangle just to explain the snap to you. So you have got a rectangle.
Yeah.
And if I want to put a, let's say, vertical construction line, I press V on the keyboard for vertical construction line.
Yeah.
All you do is select auto snap.
Yeah.
There it will grab the midpoint.
Yeah, I've got that, but it wasn't doing it.
Okay, but just bear with me. Let me just make a point here. Because this wall is one object. Can you see there?
Yeah, okay, I've got it as one object.
Okay, so the midpoint of this wall, if I put a construction line, it's going to be here somewhere.
Okay.
Let me find it. Let's look it up now. Let's copy this thing out here. If you take that wall, I just copied it out here. I'm going to back up your drawing.
Okay.
So if I put a vertical construction line down, auto snaps, can you see it picks up the midpoint there?
Yeah, got it.
Okay, so that'll pick it up. If you now start subdividing this, because this is one object, you're going to have a problem in the sense of unless you break it, which you inadvertently don't want to do, unless you have to. But so can you see the challenge we've got here? For midpoint, that would be the midpoint. Okay, cool. Now.
The reason, if I can just say this, is because this is one solid wall.
Yeah, exactly. Yes.
Before, it would actually have broken this line up.
Yes.
From that point to that one. You know what I'm saying?
Yes. So what you can do is there's a few ways that you can approach this. Obviously, this is a long way around. I hate this thing. Personally, myself, I hate doing it. So for that reason, let's go back to this side here. I'm going to break this up into, let's say we've got parallel 5 meter, no, 6 meters. 6 meter intervals. No, parallel. Sorry, I'm used to my keyboard shortcuts. Parallel 6 meters.
I know another way to do it, but this is a bit laborious.
Okay, so the one way to do it is to say from there, it is set to snap mode, so I'll be able to snap onto these intersection points there. And then that function that says snap to midpoint between two lines, that one.
Yeah.
That is mapped on my keyboard shortcut Shift and M for middle. And I integrate first point, second point, and I jot it down. So Shift M, first point, second point. There we go.
Yeah, I've got that.
Okay.
But the thing is that you've got to do, it's quite a lot more laborious than it was before, if you know what I'm saying.
Okay, so the other option
would
be then to do this. So you'll draw your wall, say to there. When you draw your wall, you basically what's this wall? Let me get the parameters here. Object properties. Let's get rid of this. We've got it's 180 wide, it's 3.5. Okay, so it's 3.5 high and 80. So when I insert this wall, I would then typically go from that point, click there. Now,
In other words, you're going to have short wall between construction lines.
Yes. Then you can just do that.
Yeah.
The other option, there's another way. There's always 10 ways to do things. The other one is to say, okay, to put those construction lines out, you put the first one down, and I know it is if the
this one, we're going to go to this particular method as well.
Okay.
Then you would have to know the dimensions, whether it's normally the walls drawn, and then turn to the side walls, the line between the walls, not right across from left to right of that building.
Yeah. So
Okay, I get this.
so-
And I understand that this
So-
is, I just have to go through this whole thing. That's just good. But that's
so
it's not good. I just thought there might have been a better way.
so there's another way. This is for if your distances vary all the time. But let's say you've got 6 meters and then 110 like that. Let's delete that.
Yeah.
What you can do is let's make this longer. I don't know why on your machine I've got to always click twice. It catches me out all the time. So if I can now say, sorry, let's see another parallel one. That one. So let's say from there, crying out loud. Let's dig it down. There we go. No. Okay, so that's the interval. It's going to repeat like that. Okay? George?
Yeah, man.
So we're going to repeat these. So what you can do, if it's the constant value,
Yeah.
what you can do is select them, and then you go to modify,
Yeah.
transform, move, copy, repeat.
Yeah.
And I'm going to say repeat it 10 times, 8 times, or I can say repeat the point and just show it again. I'm just going to go for, let's say, 6 times. And I'm going to go from that point there to that point there.
Yeah, I've got that as well.
That's the other way.
That is dependent on the walls being equidistant apart from each other.
That's correct.
Not always the case. So that doesn't matter. I'll look into it. But as I said, there was one function of the old caddy which was quite a lot more friendly than this.
But remember, with the old caddy, you had to go and construct those walls when you do elevations.
Yeah, I got it.
Now you don't.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
No, it's fine.
Okay.
I fully accept what you're saying. It's not an issue.
Okay. Okay.
And the other thing which I put myself to do, that, and this again, it would be snapping from this line to that line, and that one disappeared. So then I would have to redraw that. But again, it's not an issue. I understand it.
No. Just repeat the issue again. I missed it.
Okay, you see this? This is going to, let me do this right here. Can you see the cursor?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to show you now. I want to delete this. It's a passage coming through.
What's coming through?
Right? So you see this is going to be a passage all the way from the top, all the way through
Okay.
to the building. And
Okay.
likewise on the other one.
Okay.
So, the way I did it, as I'm only used to do it, I would go to some,
Trim. Okay. No, it's not going to work.
okay, you got it.
But there, yes, it's a quick way here. You go and you'll insert a wall opening.
Yeah, okay. Oh,
So I'll say it's that high, and I'll go from
okay.
I'll go from corner.
Yeah, I've got that. That's
From there.
one. I think I know exactly what's going to happen.
2.1. The height is 2.1.
The width is not the width down at all.
Yeah, well, that's it. I want to indicate that. So if I go okay, I go from that corner there to that corner
Have to
opposite.
go that one. Yeah. That's the best one. Right.
Although it shows a line, you can hide the line. You can make it dotted. So you can go to object properties and say make it a dotted
I
line.
would dot that line because it shows it the last one.
Yeah. Yes. That's what I mean. So I won't just go and delete it. So the wall is still there. So if I start orbiting this, you'll check the wall is there, but now you've got the open through passage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't even have it on last and setting all the way out.
So if there is a roof, and this is the reason why I say put a wall opening in. If you do have a roof, you get sometimes a parapet sides of a building. The guys don't put that wall in, so then there's nothing to trim up to the roof. So if you do that, you still got a wall that's remained there that you can actually trim up to your roof.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alright. I need to take it up.
But yeah, you can just click on it, delete it. But there are circumstances or instances where you might not want a wall opening or a wall as such. Then what you do is you just take this wall. I'm going to take that out again. You just take this wall.
Yeah.
And you push and pull it. You grab the arrow, pull it down to that side, copy it to this side, and then you got your opening, and just trim the edges. Because I think on this version, sorry man, I'm busy testing 25 all the time, so I keep on sometimes forget what's in the current version. I just want to see something. If I do this, I don't want to stuff up your drawing, so I just copy sections away to the side here. So I could do, for instance, if you've got that and that, I could actually go to trim and say trim that one to that one. In the old version 23, you couldn't do that with walls. With lines, you could. Now with this one, you can actually do it with walls. So you can trim, but the scenario you explained here is not trimming. That's actually deleting a segment out of it.
Well, I think your method is easier.
Yeah, well, it depends. As I said, if you do not need a wall at that point in time, you might take it up completely from that section, copy a new one, and carry on. Yeah. Yeah.
Not another way you went. It's much more complicated.
It is.
So you're going to keep jumping back and then.
Correct. Yeah.
So I'm going to just do quick.
Go for it.
The width.
You need to snap accurately, ne? So there it says it's unable to uniquely identify the wall. So indicate the correct wall. Okay, it's still going to tell you because you're close to two walls. So click OK. Now click the wall. Yeah, click that one. And the opposite end. Picked up the first point. So okay, but don't worry, don't undo it. All you have to do now is click on the opening.
Oh yeah, like this.
And use that arrow and push it to the end.
Yeah.
Pull it. No, just click on it. No. Just click. No. Wait. Just click now to this point. To the last point. Yeah.
There's the arrow.
You've got it. Just click there. See?
Oh, brilliant. And I want to just jump this line here.
So you can click on it again. Now it's a wall opening. It's got intelligence.
Yeah, I'm going to just delete.
Why? It's wrong.
Okay, so I want to set lines on.
Say again?
I want to use lines that are specific.
You want them?
I want to jump. Not an issue.
Sorry, I can't see. What was
This
it?
red line here,
Yeah?
this line, I want to just set.
You want them to?
Delete this line, the visible line now, that red line.
You don't want to see it?
No.
Okay. What you'll do, that's a display option. So you'll go into the object display for this specific wall opening. And on the plan, you're going to override it.
Okay.
Sorry, not the plan, the soil plan. You're going to override this and say yes, because if you say no, it's going to, and whatever you changes you make to this wall opening, it's going to happen to all the wall openings. So, but if you override it, so you say the override is yes, it's only going to be applicable to this specific opening or this object, in this case the opening.
Okay.
So what you do then is you say visible sill 1, say no, and sill B, no, and just close it. redraw, and nothing happens. It doesn't show. Maybe I'll
It's
put
lying.
no, man. No, wait, leave them out. Give me a second. Give the chap a gap here. I think I've done the wrong one. I think it's planned. Give me a sec. That was my first instinct anyway. So, length lines, cross line, A, B. Oh shit, it's already. I thought it's. Okay, maybe it's model. I know it's here because I've done it a zillion times. Come on, work opening, visible. Can't believe they've changed this. No. No.
I just say just don't line it.
So no, it's just.
I'll tell you why it's not a problem, because when it comes to 3D, we can come to that particular thing, and when the arrows push it up, it's through.
And by the way, I don't think this. It shows you in the model. Wait, give me a second. Have you got this on a sheet somewhere or not? No. Okay. Wait, give me a second. I don't think this prints anyway. This is for you purely. If you need, let's say you've got this one. I'm just gonna copy and stick it down. I'll delete it now. So stick it there. So here I've got one. For whatever reason, if you need to, let's say, increase it,
Okay.
you need to get hold of it. You need to select it. If it's invisible on the model at this point in the model space, you're not going to be able to get to it to modify. But if you go now and say,
with that in mind, I want to ask you then what happened here.
I think that there's no wall. This wall stopped here. Yeah, those walls stopped here. That was the example I wanted to give you. If you didn't have, in certain instances, you don't want a wall above that wall opening. It's got to be totally open. Then you'll do this. You will actually cut the wall here and then start again that side, or copy it and just skip that distance.
That's what I did.
Yeah. That's fine. That's perfect. But the problem now is, if you've got a roof that this thing, come on, man. Yes, this thing is delaying. If you've got a roof,
Yeah.
let's say it's like this is a double story, and you need for the second floor, and need to have a wall there. You could have done with one wall and cut the opening in, or you can keep it open and put a second wall on top. It's your choice. It all depends on what the situation requires. But what I want to show you quickly is if I go to sheets, and I'm just going to go that section there, stick it somewhere in the new sheet. Auto is fine. So if I print this and I go to someone grab your what you're using QPDF now.
How did you get this going onto the sheet? Did you copy it?
Give me a second, I'll tell you now. No, that's show. How did I get what?
This. To the sheet.
The viewport.
Text on the bullet.
The viewport.
Oh, viewport.
That's a viewport. So I went here. Went rectangle. And then you block the area in you want to see. It asks you which sheet you want to place it. Let's go for the A1. Now it asks you what scale. So let's go for 100. Click OK.
So you can actually go in detail a part of the building, you know, without it affecting everything else.
Oh, for sure. I'm going to show you some, because you're in for some great fun still. You don't know it yet. So if I go and let's say I want a detail of, let's say, the section here, for whatever reason, go back into the A1 and say okay. And what scale do you want that? 1 in 20. So whatever you draw now, if you start drawing in here and you've got arrows and whatever, kinderkens, it's linked.
We're gonna have to do this thing.
No problem. But this is now becomes really fast and quick. Whereas with the old caddy you couldn't do this. It just didn't. I just need to figure out why that friggin' fingerprints at opening. Let's go. Give me half a second, please. Save settings preview. That's printed. So there's a few ways of doing it. You can force it from the model space.
Yeah.
I don't like it doing that way because if I switch the damn thing off, I need to modify it. I can't get to it.
Yeah.
So what I like to do is I've got a layer that I always use. Go to my layer settings here at the top, layer setup. Got a layer that I use that I call, normally my template is layer 23. It says off. There we go, that one.
Okay.
Now that one's normally off. So what happens is,
what is it?
layer 23, it's just called off. All the stuff that I still want on my drawing that I want to see later on, but I don't want to print it or I don't want to see it in my drawing. Move it to that layer. So if that's it. That's a better word. I'm hiding it basically. So I can take it's now sitting on layer 1. So if I move it now to layer 23, can you see it's disappeared from my view?
Yeah.
So if I go to my sheet and it has shifted lacquer and I don't know why, but let's go just move this thing back. That's interesting. So now, in my viewport, just if I select it, under the viewport, there's an option for layer settings. So in this viewport, I can, let's go right click sort by index. I can go to layer 23 and I can click, by pressing the control key, I can toggle each layer on and off. So if I click OK, you'll see it will disappear. If I print this, it's not going to show. There you go. That's your grid line you see there. Although in that one, you can see it still. Can you see?
Yeah.
Let's just zoom in a bit. You zoom just by clicking on it. Yeah? See here in your detail, it's not displayed, but there in the 1 in 100, it is displayed because in that viewport, that layer is still active. So if I go viewport, enable disable layers, you'll check. If I go, let's just go scroll to the top, you'll see 23 is actually displayed. That's why. So to try and remember your layers in each viewport becomes a nightmare, George. So what I do is, can you see these layer groups here, layer group names?
Yeah.
So I'm going to switch that off. I'm going to create a layer group that defaults to certain naming convention. You just double click on it and I can say change this. I'm going to call this viewport plan. Then I know for that viewport that I'm using that layer configuration. So if I ever go back again, it's just now simple because we've got 2 viewports we're using it. But you get a drawing that's got like 30 viewports on it. You know, with little details here and text and notes and whatever. So if you enable this, instead of manipulating your layers one by one, you manipulate the layer groups associated with that viewport, which becomes very, very crucial and powerful when you start working around. Because I can have, for detail, because on that 100, I might not want to see that lintel there. I'm just using an example. But on this detail, I do. So what I do is, in this viewport, I'll go right-click, viewport, enable, and I'm going to create a layer group for my details. Detail, and I'm going to put a VP in front for viewport. Let's say detail. You can call basically anything. Detail 1 in 20 if you like. I don't know if you can get away with the code. 20, and now I want to see 23 as well. So control, I toggle it, I update it, click OK. So in this viewport I'll see the lintel, and that one I won't. So if I print this, preview, you'll see in the detail, you'll see your lintel. Sorry, might not be the correct colors and lines to color yet. I won't make it dotted, but in that one you won't see it. Just an example. Obviously with the lintel you'll see it in both, but just to prove a point, you can switch it off in the different viewports. And you know, as I say, with two viewports, it's rather simplistic to manipulate and manage it. But when you get a drawing with like hundreds of viewports in different on multiple sheets, you know, to remember which viewport has got what on, etc., that becomes a pain. So this way is just easier to manage it for you.
I want to use it.
Hey? Say again?
I want to do this viewpoint. This is incredible.
Yeah. So you use only one function, and it's called this one, setting under sheets. It says define a model space outline for a viewport. That one. Because it's quite clever. If you hit it, it sort of takes you back to your model space automatically, and it asks you, how do you want to define it? Like polygon, rectangle, or circle? So you go for it. Let's you put a viewport in. Let's go for rectangle. I'll talk you through the first one. Now zoom out. Okay, we'll take that. Okay. Which sheet? The A1 layout is the one that we were on just now.
The A1 layout.
That's the one we were on just now. You want to use that one? You click OK. Otherwise, select a different one and click OK. Now it asks you, what scale do you want to see this at?
Okay, I didn't get that. So, okay, one.
Okay, click OK. I'll explain that to you now. Now it's where you want to place it. So place it there on the side, yeah.
I'll do this there. Yeah, that is so good.
That's awesome, man.
I mean, how many times do I have to do a circle or some sort of highlight of a section?
Yes.
That's just absolutely amazing.
Okay, now I really want to blow your mind. Because
Before you go, Vic, before you go on to the next one, my mind is, how did I present this? This is now coming to presenting the drawing now, am I right? Whole thing.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yes.
Okay. All right, Karen?
No, I thought you were going to ask a question.
What I'm saying is that on the final drawing, in other words, if you got all the titles and everything like that, you know, that will be presented on the drawing, even though, I've actually answered myself, so that's fine.
Yeah, that's perfectly correct. Yeah, your understanding on that is perfect, it's spot on. Yes. Now comes the $1 million question. Let's do a dimension. And I'm just going to go.
Yeah, that's another thing. I haven't done the dimensions, but I want to do that again.
Yeah.
I'll just go to that.
That's fine. Okay, what this means is I always got to read the prompts, because you know sometimes I change it and I don't read the screen. I normally get flack because I don't read, because I do what the users do. I don't read the damn prompt, so I just make sure I understand. So what this means is, you've got an option here for dimension to be associative or non-associative.
Yeah.
Now, if you go to your settings,
Yeah.
your dimension settings, né? You'll have, yeah, here's the dialog box. It's actually specifically pointing to this section here that says non-associative and associative. Now, I'm gonna let's go to a blank drawing. I don't want to use your drawing here. So if I'm got a rectangle there, well, just get the freaking thing down. There you go. Okay, so I'm gonna draw a dimension. I'm gonna keep it like I'm gonna, until that thing irritates you, just you can say click and switch it now. So here's a rectangle with a dimension. This dimension is associated to this rectangle because of this setting that says associative. So you know that one. Okay. This means if I take this rectangle and let's move it 500 millimeters to the right, the dimension is the dimension. This is very. Don't get confused. As a new user, you can very quickly be confused between the dimensions I showed you coming from the top here, AEC dimensions. Can you see these dimensions and AEC dimensions? The difference is with AEC, that goes in the 3D objects. So when I push these AEC dimensions goes in the AEC walls. The AEC walls. These walls here, the 3D walls.
Okay, yeah.
So I can select that wall, right click, and from here I can say add a dimension group and give me 2 chains and stick it down there. Those are AEC dimensions. They are not the same as these dimensions sitting here. Please don't get confused. If I click on annotate these dimensions, which is, and I'm not categorically correct by saying this is for 2D stuff, because it's not. But just for you as a beginning user, the AEC dimensions is for the 3D walls, windows and doors and so on, where these dimensions are for 2-dimensional stuff. Can be for 3D stuff, but I just want to get your mind to split between the two. That's all I want at this point in time. Now, that's fine, that's fine. But in both cases, you can.
No, I'm aware of change dimension. Wall to wall,
Let's put it that way. AEC dimensions goes for AEC objects, walls, doors, and 3D. Normal dimensions goes for anything else. If you want to put an angle of a roof on an elevation or a section, or you want to do a section dimension, you use these dimensions.
So AEC stands for the wall.
Yeah, AEC is basically these things. It's not as I said, it's not 100% perfect, spot on correct from what I'm saying. I'm going to get probably blitzed because of that statement, but for years and years, I find the guys understand that the best. And don't break your head about it.
Wait just a second. I want to do this dimension quickly.
Go for it.
Alright, so I'm going to go.
Don't make it difficult. Think simple. What do you want to do? You want to dimension a wall. So click on the wall. Okay, so click the wall. You want to dimension that wall. So click on the wall. Right click. And under there is add AEC dimension group. Under the wall. And there. Down. Nearly there. 4, 3, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. There we go. One down. Yeah, there we go. That's it. Yeah, because this dimension function is, let me put it as a I don't want to say a child, but it's connected to the wall. It's a function coming from the wall. So don't go and look for. You can go for dimensions. You can go both ways, but keep it simple. Your cursor is on the screen. You're busy drawing. You want to do a dimension for that wall. Click on the wall. Right click. Add dimension group. That's it.
This one.
No. Add dimension group. That one.
Yes.
Yes.
One.
Yeah.
Right.
Click on that one.
Right.
Brilliant. Click.
Right.
click George. No, let's click on it. Yeah.
Okay.
Are you clicking on it? There we go. No, you got it, you got it. Wait. Don't click now, don't click. I think there's a delay. Something is very much delayed. I think my link has broken, if you ask me. Oh wait, there we go. Let's go freehand. So you've clicked that. Now you can see something's happening on a cursor. Can you check here?
Yeah.
Because it's picking up that wall. So if you go a little bit down, you'll see it will jump to the horizontal section. No, it doesn't. There we go. Just a bit.
That's what I'm looking.
Okay.
That's what I want.
Okay, bad. Wait. Look at the bottom. This comes up with a standard. I sometimes refer sometimes to vanilla setting. This is a default standard setting which looks terrible from my point of view. And please don't repeat this video clip. I'm recording because I'm gonna get hit for that. But if you look at the bottom of the screen, you can select S for style or orientation. Go T for H, T for through, A for horizontal, V for vertical, O for object. So the one we're looking for here is S. So I want you to hit the S key on your keyboard. Say again.
Okay.
S for style, for Sierra. S.
Okay, that's what I'm.
Yeah. There we go. So these are the standard styles, and then the arc 1, 2, and 3. Those ones are created in my template. So if you want 2 chains, select 2 chains.
Okay, but hang on. What's the difference between 1 and 2 and 3 chains?
Well, that's the amount of change you're gonna do. Hit 2 because I'm gonna change it and show you the difference. So can you see you've got 2 chains there? You've got 2 levels of dimension.
Okay, well, when you say 2 chains, are you talking about 2 different sets of dimensions of the same wall?
Yeah. Perfect. Okay, so click.
Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, click it down.
Click it down.
Click it. Where do you want to put it? There.
Okay.
There we go. So zoom in.
That's it.
Right, now you realize, oh bloody hell, you want 3 chains.
Okay.
So all you do is you change the style. So select the dimension group, click on it, you'll see the whole thing will select.
Okay. Again.
What's wrong?
So where did we get from? Okay, yeah.
No, click again. Click on the dimension group. Click on the dimension. Yeah, click on it. That's it. Can you check the whole thing selects?
Okay.
Okay, so now go to object properties. Now see you've actually hit it here at the top. There. So dimension style says arc 1, 2 chains. You want to change it, so click on it. You want 3 chains. Voila, you've got 3 chains. Okay. Okay, so these are AEC dimensions. Now let's get back to the point I want to make. These are normal dimensions, also running on a style. And they're coming from here. So you just grab horizontal and go bang bang, off you go, next point, bang bang. They're actually not even chained. They're just totally running on their own. Okay. Yes, your phone is starting funny. I thought it was my line, but I think it's your phone because I'm using a different line. Can I phone you back again? Okay. Yeah, got it. Awesome. It's clear. So these are normal dimensions, and I can say give me vertical one from there to there and stick it down there. Okay. In both these cases, in the 3D AC dimensions and these dimensions, you've got an option to associate it with an object. But be careful, it does not associate with construction entities. But with normal lines and things it does. And that is this option here. Now what that means is, and I'm going to switch this back to non-associative, and I'll tell you now why. What happens now is if I take this line and I push and pull it, let's go 500 left, it moves the dimension width. Can you see?
Yeah.
But if I do this, and I don't want to confuse you, let's do the same thing. Go horizontal from there to there. You agree it looks more or less the same? So if I now move this 500 to the right, the bloody thing still goes. Why? Okay. It's still set probably to associative. Yeah, I didn't set current. Sorry, my mistake. Let's just redo it. No, I forced it back. Again, I didn't read the prompt. So there we go. When I click it and say move 500 left, bloody hell, it still goes. Oh, come on. And you think you're confused, eh? See, it keeps on jumping to associative. Why, man? What am I doing wrong here? It's supposed to be there. Non-associative. We wanted non-associative because it catches out the users left, right, and center. Set current. Click OK. Spacebar. I'm just going to see if it remembers the bloody setting. Now we cooking. But I think the problem is this bloody prompt. This thing. As you can change setting. Currently it's set to make a mention non-associative. Keep the setting. Yes. Now it will work because I didn't read the prompt. So if I take this jewel number, the 500, you can check it goes on its own. The dimension remains. Then it's non-associative. The reason why we do that, if you use construction lines and you go for associative, you're going to get a 0 dimension. The users find out, what the hell happened here? If you dimension and it's associative on the construction line, it goes 0. For whatever reason, I don't know. We logged it, asked the guys to have a look at it. They say it's supposed to work like it, but I cannot see. No one has convinced me the reason for that. Okay. So, George.
Yeah.
Now you gotta now you gotta wake up in the be awake in the class for what I'm gonna do next. But don't worry, I'm recording it so you can replay this thing to your heart's content. Okay. Okay. Let's go back. I don't want to fool around too much. Okay. Here we've got. Are you okay with associative and non-associative, ne?
Yes, I understand that now.
Okay.
One is related to the item, the other one is.
Brilliant. Okay.
The dimension stays fixed and it doesn't get affected by moving the side.
Awesome. Okay.
Altering the side.
Great. If you do get stuck, you get confused, don't worry. Just pop me a mail or whatever, and I'm going to. I'll explain it again or whatever. So what we're going to do here is I'm just going to stick down just some form of example. We can simply use this. That's fine. Now, if I create a viewport, you remember how to create a viewport? We go to Sheets, and we define a model space outline for a viewport. That one. Okay. So I'll go by rectangle, and I'm going to go from there to there. Click, man. Click. There we go. Go to. We'll go for the A4. It's fine. And we're going to go 1:100 scale. Click OK. And this is what I'm explaining to you, is that dialog box now. So if I look at that, there's my drawing lacquer. If I print this, whatever. Let's go for keep PDF. And so I'm going to keep this thing. Okay, save settings. Preview. There we go. There's our drawing. Okay, brilliant. Now I want a detail. So I do the same thing. And I go for, you mentioned circle. We can do a circle if you like. It looks like. You got it wrong. This double clicking catches me out all the time on this session. Okay, so we're gonna what scale? 1:20. Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, so do we like it big? Now we've got a problem. I print this, and I mean it's you're going to be blind not to figure out this. The text is totally wrong. Okay, so there's a thing now. Can you see if I click on this viewport and I go to object properties?
Yeah.
There's a scale and an annotative scale of 1 in 100 in both cases.
Yeah.
Now if I do it for this one, just select, on the circle you get a circle and a viewport, just select the viewport.
Yeah.
This is 1 in 20.
Okay.
This is 1 in 20, can you see here?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That is the reason why the text is so freaking big.
Yeah.
So how do we fix this? Now, the solution to this, I won't say problem, but to this setting, it's actually a brilliant feature. Starts in your model space. If I've got my model space open, you've got an annotative scale here
Yeah.
of whatever. Normally, 1 in 100, if you open my template, it will be 1 in 100. Because that's normally what the guy starts off with working with.
Okay.
So, I can change the scale. But in this case, if I go to 1 in 20, where is it? 1 in 20, you're not going to see much happening here because I haven't set my finishes to do anything when it changes at this point in time. So basically what this means, in layman's language, George, is this. If I draw something in my model space, irrespective, because we're working 1 in 1, when I stick this down on my drawing, on my sheet, on my title block, I'm going to have to put it to some form of scale, whether it's 1 in 100, for site plan maybe 1 in 500, for detail 1 in 20, whatever.
Yeah.
I can tell each and every little piece of text, dimension and hatching. When I use you in the model space, and you must display to what I'm seeing it now, but when I put you on the sheet, on the scale of 1 in 100, you must display 3 millimeters high, to scale. Okay? But if I use you, Mr. DPC text here, the same thing in a different viewport, in a different scale, I want you to adjust to that accordingly.
Yeah.
Okay? And this is actually how it works. So if I select my text,
Yeah.
I'm doing individual ones, but you can, I'll show you, same with dimensions. There's a setting that whatever scale you set to here in your model space, whenever you insert text, hatch, or dimension, it will adapt, and that's what the dialog box keeps on telling you when you insert a viewport. That if you create too many annotated finishes, your drawing becomes big and sluggish and so on. But I mean, you've got to put zillions in for this thing to become slow anyway. But nevertheless, so what I do is on my text, there's an option here that says annotative. By default, it's no. So I want to switch that to yes.
Okay.
And it's currently set for 1 in 100.
Okay.
So, but I want to use it also in 1 in 20. So it's currently 1 in 100, but I want to add 1 in 20. So you just add it there.
Yeah.
And I update it.
And then the thing says,
So again, George?
and then the text, that's what you say.
Yeah. So if I go back, can you see the difference?
Well, I can see there, that remains small, but this remains small.
Yeah, because we haven't done it yet, but just look at the DPC for now. It's the same size, true scale, when I print, and this is 1 in 100, and this is 1 in 20. Can you see it's the same size?
Really?
Now that is really, I was going to use a different word, but I know I'm recording. But yes, here's another thing. Okay, so let's do this one. So let's go for that one, and we're going to say set it to yes.
Okay.
But you leave the mouse now.
I'm going to go annotative.
Yes.
Yes.
Now select the scale, which says annotative scale is current 1 in 100. Click on that current 100
Alright.
and add the one you want to add, which is 1 in 20. Use the arrow. No, use the arrow. Select the text. Then you just click on it. Okay. Oh, now you've got multiple stuff selected. Press escape and just click on the text. Click on the text.
Where?
Just the text.
just click.
Yeah, click on it. On the text.
Ready?
Click on the text. That's it. Alright, go to object properties.
Sorry, just see.
Go to your object properties, top right hand side. There you go. Annotative is yes. Where it says current 1 in 100. Click on that current 1 in 100. Yeah. Now, click on the 1 in 20. There's an arrow in the middle that points to the right.
Yeah.
To the right. That one. Click on it. Can you see it added it in that list? Okay, nothing looks like it changed yet. I'll show you now how to check for that. So go and check on your sheet. Now man, you use your A4 sheet, you will use the correct sheet. That's it.
Yeah.
Just press R on region. There we go. Okay. Now, what you could do is...
That's so clever. That is so clever.
But-
I have to do that again quickly.
But it goes further. Give me a second. Give me the mouse again. You don't know what the hell is happening here at this scale. So what I can do is, my current scale with nothing, this is the key. Nothing's supposed to be selected. I'll keep it. Okay? With nothing selected. Can you see the selection is 0?
There we go. Oh.
If you select your object properties, there's annotative scale here. If I now switch this, I'm going to switch it to 1 in 20. When I do it, keep your eye on the text. You ready?
Yeah.
That's what it looked like in 1 in 20. That's actually what you're seeing on the viewport of 1 in 20 on the sheet. But now this is the cool part. I can now go and take this at that scale. Now don't get a fright when you see this. There's nothing wrong with the whiskey or with your eyesight. You'll see the amount of representations for each scale when you select it. If I unselect it, it goes back to the current one. So if I click on that and I click that little grip point, I can move this and say I want to see that DPC maybe this side.
Yeah. Yeah.
For 1 in 20, and maybe this one, make it a bit closer, maybe there. So when I unselect everything, I go back to the object properties, I select back to 1 in 100, and I advise you to keep on that, otherwise you're going to get totally confused. You can now move these things around. Can you see where the 1 in 20 representation sits now? So guess where is it going to sit when you go to the viewport? See there? Compared to here.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that is one of the most difficult things, and you tell me if that's very difficult, but that's one of the most difficult things some of our old users struggle with. Now I don't know whether we cannot explain it properly, but and I'm not saying to remember each and every step. I'm saying to grasp the concept.
I'm grasping the concept.
I know, I can hear it.
Incredible.
So it's amazing. So all you do now is you can just grab that one and that one. I don't think you can do it annotative. Yes. Go for it. Must be yes. Yeah. And add the scale, current scale. Yeah, but you want to add the 1 in 20, ne? So click on the current 100. Yeah. Select it.
You're gonna go 120.
120 and add it.
Gonna go there.
Update it. That's it. Click on your A4 detail sheet. Press R on the keyboard to redraw. We don't have a I caught myself. I'm just very tired. We don't have a detail on the other side. That's why you won't see it. But you got the idea. That's the way to do it.
Okay. Where did it go?
What?
That's it now.
No, wait. If we haven't got that one, that's what I'm trying to say. So if I go back here and I go rectangle, let's enclose those two, both of them.
Oh, yeah.
Because we're only seeing the one. That's why. So if I go, and so do you understand? Can I switch this thing off? Okay, you can. If you're really hot for this, you can just click it. Don't show it again. But I'm going to leave it for you. So if I stick this down here, you can see the text is perfectly the same as the 1E100 one here at the bottom.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it won't show you because we're not seeing it here. That's basically. So typically you could just grab the jewel and just make it a bit smaller, move it around. Oh, sorry. Well, that's fine. That thing, that circular viewport won't print. The circular one will print. Sorry, the rectangular ones won't print. But you can switch it off. It's
I
just,
like that circular one. I do a lot of detail.
yeah, then you keep it. That's fine.
I mean, then you got to go and record it, draw it. I mean, it's just slick.
Yeah, and then you got the delete segment. No, so you can. All I'm saying is you can switch it off. Normally the guys leave it on. Maybe just a black pen instead of a blue, like in this case. But you can switch it off. But there you go.
That is brilliant. That is absolutely brilliant.
Yes.
With that,
Yeah. I'm with you.
I'll get this one over.
No.
Alright, are you finished with this one? Because I want to go back on a few things.
Yeah, I'm finished.
You finished?
Yeah.
Alright, quickly, before we go away from it, I want to go back to that measure that you, with that AEC dimension.
Dimensions. Okay.
So, the dimension.
So go to your drawing. First go to the correct drawing.
Where?
It's the other drawing. That's the Maton Citrus Hostel. This one, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, there we go. Yes.
Okay, now, going back to the dimension, the one that you said, is it annotate? There we go. Well, that's fine. I'll put that. Are you still there?
Yeah.
Okay. I want to ask you, I've been battling with the copy, the part of it. If we can come to that for a second.
Sure. Copy of what?
Okay, I'm going to show you what I mean.
Yeah.
Right, I've been trying to copy this. Now, if I go back to the good old caddy way of doing it, there.
Transform, translate, mark, block, elements inside, what?
Yeah. Right, and I didn't come right with it at all. So,
Okay.
yeah,
Transform. Go up, scroll up with the arrow, with the wheel.
very good. Go where?
Yeah.
With rock. With rock, yeah.
Yeah, but you don't need to go for mark anymore. You can just select.
Okay, just tell me now.
Okay.
Okay, don't tell that one.
So what we're going to do is we're going to copy. I just select.
I want to copy the whole operation there. Yeah.
It's not going to copy that unless you select it.
Well, okay, so you can't copy that whole.
But then it's selecting the whole thing, which is fine
I can't.
because I can always trim it. So where do you want to copy to? So I right click copy. Can I pick anywhere? Do you want a specific point?
Yeah, okay, yeah, actually. If you from there.
From the grid point.
Well, you can say look good, but I want to include this window.
That's fine.
What I wanted was this. Let's start again.
Okay, you select. So we just select it.
Okay,
Okay, press 1 on the keyboard.
come again.
Press 1 on the keyboard.
Push one, yeah.
Keep it pressed in and click. Wait. So when you're there, press 1 on the keyboard and click. Left click. No, left click. Now I can leave the one, and now I can go. But see, you've like indicated you're cutting through half the stuff. Let's include all this stuff. You see here, this wall here is not selected. Nothing wrong. You can now go and indicate them one by one. So I can say click on this wall, click on that wall, and zoom out of it, bam, and click on that wall. So now you've got, is that everything selected you want to copy?
Okay.
Yeah?
But I don't need to, so I can undo that. Just no one copy that too.
What, that wall?
Yeah, okay. Just click the whole thing, that's fine.
Okay, so we go right click copy. Right click copy. Right, indicate the point that you want to pick up from. You got it. No, you got it. Be careful now. Don't just click now. So where do you want to place it?
I want to just copy the Prussian area to this side, which I've done now by hand. I mean,
Oh, you want to place it inside the top one?
yeah, but it's going to be reversed. It's going to be
Okay, so what we do is,
100 degrees. I mean, it's going to be 190 degrees.
okay, that's fine. So if I understand correctly, we were actually want to copy from here.
What I wanted was just you can't do it like that.
No, wait, just leave it. Okay, so we don't need that. So we want these walls, we want the windows. We're gonna have to take that. We're gonna have to take that wall. I don't know why they're like. No, that wall. We're gonna have to take that wall. It's fine. And obviously, where there's a window in, you need to take that wall as well. So I'm gonna have to take those.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine.
So what I do is I save this. No, you've already you've already copied to the top section here. Am I right? It's going to go here. Am I correct?
Yeah, correct.
So what you can do is you can.
It's going to go. It's going to go there, and it's going to go to the other extreme side, but it's going to be very image.
Okay. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to mark these walls. I'll select them, and I'm going to save the selection. Because if you've got store selected, if you've got an object that's selected sitting perfectly on top of another object, you might not get to the bottom one. So what I do is, I know these ones I might want to delete afterwards, but I'm not sure. So I'm going to save the selection. I'm going to select what I want to copy. So I'm going to select these ones here. Okay, there, and that wall, and that wall. I'm going to copy this from, let's go, intersection, that point there. Okay, here I'm going to say right click and rotate. 90 degrees okay, spacebar, 90 degrees okay is 180, and I'm going to stick it down there. Don't worry, it's just mathematics doing its thing here, because you've got multiple walls cutting into other walls, and okay, but there's.
It would make more sense to actually just copy the walls with no doors and windows, all white out all the way around.
You could, but I saved the selection of the other walls that I might want to delete. So I'm going to recall them. There they are, and I'm going to delete them.
Okay.
Is that what you want?
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
But it's something is not. I probably just clicked wrong here because I see it's not perfectly on the grid. So I might have snapped incorrectly.
I saw that you jumped over it.
Yeah, it's difficult. I've got a bloody delay and double click, and it's difficult. But do you know how to fix that? Nee? You know what I've done now.
Yeah.
I'm going to do it again. I'm going to undo. I've taken these walls, selected them, these objects. Doesn't have to be walls, could be anything. But I'm going to select them, and the only reason I'm keeping them, I mean, I could delete it now. I'm just using the reference. If You haven't done much with these ones as far as I can see.
No, nothing. In fact, I think the easiest way to do it, Dick, if you don't mind me saying it, just cut this one,
Yeah.
stop it, and get this one finished, and then I'll just take the whole thing, turn it upside down.
Oh yeah. Yes.
That's the easiest way to go.
But there's another way, which is really cool.
Okay?
Are you familiar with blocks?
Come again?
Are you familiar with blocks?
Yeah, a block.
Hey?
Familiar with what?
Blocks.
Block.
I'll show you.
What?
Blocks.
A block. No, I mean, what you say.
Okay, a block. I'm going to go to the side here. Let's go open symbol. And I'm going to architectural. Let's bring in a window to the PT. Bring in that window. I'm going to bring it in as a block.
Okay. Alright.
If I stick it down,
Yeah.
if I click on it, the whole thing selects.
Okay.
Can't modify it. You have to go click on it, right click, block, edit block.
Yeah.
Now I can start modifying things.
I got it.
Okay.
I got it.
The advantage to this is, if I've got that block and I copy it, 1, 2, click, click. Okay. I can now go and say, okay, but this needs to change. I need to add something. So I edit the block. I go to make the change that I need to make. Let's go somewhere. I'm just going to draw a line here.
Yeah.
In edit block, keep your eye on the other two.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you can. I'm not going to do it now because you're going to you. I still want you to just click. What you could have done. Hey? Okay. I could take this whole block.
Yeah.
This hostile block. So now I'm going to sound very confusing. I could take this whole structure here
Yeah.
and make that a block
Yeah.
and call it hostile 1 whatever. I can give it an origin point, say bottom left hand corner of the grid. Let's go.
Yeah.
No intersection. That point there. Replace original object. Replace original objects. Yes. Click OK. Now you're going to phone me and swear at me because you're not going to be able to edit this thing by the normal way of doing things. So if I click on it now, it's one object.
Yeah.
You could now take this object, copy this,
Yeah.
pick it up from, doesn't matter, I'm going to show you. Pick it up from that point there, right click and rotate, not 90 degrees but 180, and stick it down wherever. I'm going to take this and just bring it in line. I'm just going to move it with that endpoint there. I'm going to keep it horizontal. With the wall there. So now I've got this thing perfectly aligned, although it's rotated, inverted, perfectly in line with this one. So now what you do is, if I now go, and you'll see now, there's your evolution blocks, right?
Okay, so what if I feel the bottom one and just feel on the top one, that's what you say.
That's it. If you want to, that's. I think this is where you're going. So now I can go and say, click on this block.
Yeah.
Right click, edit block. Now I can go and let's go open symbol. I'll paste over the keyboard so nothing happens. So let's go open symbol here. two screens, George?
We've got what?
Two screens.
It's three.
Yeah, but one or two screens. One video screen.
No, one screen on this, with this package, the only one screen.
Okay. Because now it seems like the thing is hanging. Go right click for me.
What is it?
Right click. Not doing anything. Is it flickering your side too?
Yeah.
Okay, just leave the mouse. Give me a second.
Good one. The computer has been giving trouble, by the way.
Hey?
The brand new computer has been giving a lot of trouble.
Is it?
Not unexpected, I must say.
Yeah, this, I've never seen this. This is as if I've got no control. Do me a favor, press Control Alt Delete and escape.
So all delete.
Yeah?
Okay, let's do that.
And escape.
That will be good. Yeah. Right.
Okay?
Now you're there.
Is it out? No, there.
Yeah. And then we're back.
Here we go. Okay, then what the heck? Let's go open symbol. That was very, very long. So let's bring in a toilet. Cinema 2D.
That is brilliant. That is brilliant.
Let's go for, say that one. Now be careful, you can have your, okay, you select one. Be careful now, you can bring in a block in, which means you've got nested blocks. So you've got to be careful. Because if you start then need to change them, now it's going to be on plan, eh?
Yeah.
That one. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so right click and rotate 90 degrees anti clockwise. Clockwise, click OK. Place it down. There. Press escape. Okay, you can do that. Carry on. Yeah. And rotate. Spacebar.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah.
So we're finished for that, for this exercise. So what you do is, I'm going to zoom into the top. You can see it's all grayed out. That's why it's because you're not supposed to see the other stuff. You're busy with this block, and whatever is normal colors, that's part of this block. So keep your eye on this now, on this section. So if I go right click and edit block, sorry, not that one, man. Top one.
That's the one. Right. Okay.
You see, let's put it in.
See the dimensioning comes down.
Yeah, I know, but that, again, this is part of the block issue. I won't make the dimensions part of the block, but the drawing, because the drawing can be manipulated, but you don't want the dimensions. But it's your choice.
So I can just do dimensions again.
Yeah. So what you'll do is you'll you can actually take the dimensions out of the block. So, and I think this is going to take a long time again. So if I go edit block, it takes a long time, man.
Alright, I'm working on a graph, which is saying,
Yeah.
I can just eliminate the dimensions and just do it again with the right.
Yeah, so what you do is you can take this block, explode it, which will put it back to the same state it was before we created the block. So you haven't lost anything. Then you can create the block again, excluding the dimensions, and carry on with that block. Okay. is taking long. It's because of the grey out stuff.
What?
It is taking long. Here we go. So I can take those dimensions,
Yeah.
delete them, end edit block. You see the back, the gun at the top? Yeah. But George, maybe this is not a good example, you know what? I'm just thinking about it because this is a block. You're not going to be able to put dimensions in because it's a block. If you edit the block and put the dimension in, yeah, you put well, you can, but then you don't use the AEC dimensions. You use these dimensions. Then you can still do it, and it's separate from each other. Sorry. Let's go. So non-associative chain. Say again, George. Battle G, George. Are you on a VoIP line? Let me phone you back. Yeah. Are you on a VoIP line?
I'm on speakerphone now.
Okay.
I have been on that.
Alright, no problem. Sorry, you were asking?
Wouldn't it make more sense in this instance just to finish off the one,
Yeah.
the one after block,
And just copy it.
and then copy it,
Yeah.
place it in the position, and then then basically we were doing, instead of making it a block, just as a normal copy and paste.
That's it. You can do it. Yeah. So I've exploded it.
Yeah.
And you explode it by doing this. You click on it.
Yeah.
Right click, explode. Now it's back into where it was. In the individual objects. Same as the bottom one. So yeah, go for it. Use it like that.
Yeah.
We'll get you blocks again. Don't worry. I just want to show you so I can get your mind thinking about it. When you do get a situation where you think it will work for you, then at least you know about it. We can just...
No, I will use it because I know that in SketchUp you make components.
Yeah.
And then you can keep copying it. And when you change the one, it'll change it throughout.
Same thing. That's it. We just call it blocks, but that's it, yeah.
Yeah, well, I get that. I think that's about it.
George, I'm going to ask you if I can terminate the call. I need to run again, but I've recorded this session and I'll have it for you ready. Did you get the video from yesterday?
I did. Again, I have to say I was really trying to work on this drawing this morning.
That's fine.
And that's when I was stuck with it and everything.
Just give me some...
I think I've got more than enough to go on and I've learned that it will have Can I just ask this little thing?
Yeah.
Your wife, or whoever it was, she must send me another invoice because I need to make second payment.
No, the system will notify us. Is it a month already?
No, it's not, but I don't want to be behind, so I'm just mentioning it.
Okay, no, I'll ask it to send you one. Not a problem. Alright.
If you can just talk to someone, but within the next week I'd like to get an invoice.
Alright, no, I'll sort it. Brilliant.
Is that it?
That's it.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, George. Say again?
Today was dynamic.
Awesome. It only gets better from here, so don't worry. The beginning is always a bit boring, but yeah, exciting stuff is awaiting you, so don't worry.
No, but for me, the pasting I've done is doing this thing on my own today. It's got a lot of confidence because there's a lot of similarities to the old caddy.
Yeah.
There's also some other things that are compatible.
But you've done well. The stuff I see here, you've actually played. comparing when we started right in the beginning, you sounded very scary, or you were afraid that you're going to break it or something.
Not that the thing was going to break.
No, it won't. No, you've done well. So that's the only way you're going to learn. If you play with it and get questions, and that's how you're going to learn. The more you play with it, the more you're going to learn. That's as simple as that. So, all right, I'm going to terminate the video.